What up, YouTube? How you guys doing today? Today I'm gonna be telling the story about the time that me and my boys went to a party to hit some licks. Like literally just went to the party to specifically hit licks. Like we barely knew anyone there. But without further ado, before I get into the video, I thought I'd take a quick little bong rip with you guys. Did that last video, and I think I'm going to make it a routine every video to take a little rip in the beginning. So without further ado, cheers, guys. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the video. So this all happened, I want to say, about 5 years ago, right? Because it was like, I think in the middle of COVID when this was happening, because I dropped out right when COVID was happening. Like, I did like a year of high school in COVID, and then I said fuck that shit and dropped out, right? And this was like right the year I dropped out. So I want to say this is like probably five and a half years ago, right? It was the middle of the summer, like probably 5 years ago, and we were all, like, me and a couple of friends were all hanging out in my parents' garage, right? A little bit of backstory on the garage, right? The legendary garage. My parents' house had an old auto body shop garage on the property that was like separate from the house, like really far separate. It was a detached garage, and it was an 8-car garage with like 14-foot high ceilings. Like, it was a big ass garage, right? At this point we had converted it to like basically be like a chill spot. It had a bunch of couches, had like a projector, you know, speakers. It had a drum set, guitars, all that cool shit that a garage, you know, should have. My parents are hippies and into like jam bands and the Grateful Dead and that kind of shit, and so they would have their friends come over and they would smoke out there too, and they would, you know, play their instruments and that kind of shit away from the younger kids in the house. At this point, it was probably me, my boy Eli, who's passed away at this point, rest in peace, my other friend Maddox, and my other friend Zach, right? Eli's girlfriend was there as well, so that was Ashley, and then Eli's sister was also there as well, so that was Phoebe. And then I think there was one other kid with us. I think his name was Liam, but I'm not 100% sure if he was there or not, right? So I don't really remember. Keep that with a grain of salt, because I have no memory of him being there whatsoever. But anyway, so it's the 5 of us. We're all hanging out, right? And Maddox and Zach, they thought it was a good idea to trip that night. So they've eaten some shrooms, right? So they're just, keep that in mind. Maddox and Zach have eaten some shrooms. Mostly just Zach. Zach mostly ate the shrooms, right? So we're all hanging out in the garage. We're smoking. You know, it was kind of a chill night. We didn't think nothing was going on. We didn't really think we were going to get into much. And then, boom, I get a call from this kid, right? I think I told a story with this kid in it before. I think it was my first time smoking weed story on here, getting high. It was the same kid that I smoked with that time. That kid actually called me this story, and he was like, yo, I'm going to a party, like would you guys be interested in linking, like blah blah blah, like totally blowing the spot up. Like I don't know, if I was that party owner, bro, I'd be pissed if this guy was calling people. But hey, that's what happens when you throw parties, man. Like, randoms show up. Like, that's why you don't do that shit. Word to the wise, man. Don't be the one throwing the party. Just go to the parties. It's never worth it. But yeah, I ended up getting this call through Snapchat. This is back when Snapchat was, you know, the main thing and everyone would use. So I ended up getting ring up, and it's this kid, right? He tells me, he's like, yo, we're going to this party out in fucking, it was in this town called Walpole, which is like a little bit north from where the city that we're from. It's just kind of the middle of fucking nowhere, bro, and it's like kind of hicky, like some rednecky town, right? And so we weren't really interested in going at first, because we were like, all right, there's probably nobody we know there, right? And so we're just hanging out, still in the garage. Probably an hour passes by, and I'm looking through people's Snapchat stories. And a little bit of backstory behind this as well. We were beefing, like that whole group of kids, like me, Maddox, Zach, and Eli, and my brother, and like a couple other people, were all beefing with this other group of kids that had jumped my brother and his friend. And then my brother like did some shit. He upped a blick, you know. And then we got into a fight with them. We jumped them, blah blah blah. Some bad blood was going on, right? We were all catching each other, right? We had some pretty serious beef with these kids, right? And so we're looking at the Snapchat stories of people that are at the party, and we see, boom, there's this kid we're looking for named Landon, bro. who set up my brother to get jumped. Like, he's the main kid we were looking for, right? And so we see that on this story that, like, boom, he's at that party. And so at that point, we're like, all right, bet. We need to go, right? So I hit the kid who back up who called me originally, and I'm like, yo, bro, what's the address to that party? Like, I think we finna slide through, right? And at this point, I think he kind of understood that we were gonna go there to cause some problems, you know, because that's what our original plans were, bro. We're to go there and just fuck this kid up, right? We weren't even there for the party. And I think he knew that. So he was a little bit hesitant to give me the address. And eventually I got it out of him, though. And this shit was in the middle of fucking nowhere, bro. Like, literally, it was like a cul-de-sac. A dead-end cul-de-sac. Like, it was a nice area. Like, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like a shitty area. It was nice houses. But, like, you know, it was just kind of in the middle of nowhere, like Vermont tends to be, you know? Actually, this was New Hampshire. This was right over the river in New Hampshire. This wasn't even Vermont. So. But, yeah, so we all get the address. We all start getting ready, you know, pre-gaming a little bit. I think we had a little bit of alcohol with us and, like, you know, obviously some weed. So we were smoking, getting ready, and Maddox and Zach had eaten a bunch of mushrooms still, keep in mind, and now they remember that we're going to jump these people, so Zach got a little bit nervous, right? And so, some background on Zach, bro. He's kind of a pussy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, looking back on Zach, bro, like, he's kind of a bitch. Like, he would get us into fights and shit, and then, like, not actually be the one to fight and, like, just watch us do it. It was some bullshit anyway. But looking back, Zach's a pussy, right? So he can't handle his drugs, and he was freaking out a little bit off the shrooms, knowing we're gonna go jump this kid, right? And so we all pile into the Subaru that I had at the time, the little Subaru Impreza 2.5i. We used to call it the Boobaroo. I cut the exhaust off, had a glass pack on it. It was loud as hell. Fucking ridiculous car, bro. And I remember we all piled into the car, bro. We could barely fit in that bitch. I think someone was in the trunk. That's why earlier I was saying I'm pretty sure that kid Liam was with us. I just have no memory of him being there. But I swear he was, because we didn't have enough room for everyone. So he must have been. So we all pile into the car, bro. And I just remember on the way there, we're all crammed in the car and I'm driving. And I had the shittiest fucking radio in that car, bro. Like, I had wired it myself in a parking lot, like, in the rain. And after I bought it, and it was just, like, a shitty, like, auto shop radio. Like, I didn't order it online or anything. It was probably from, like, AutoZone or something. Just an AutoZone $30 Bluetooth radio, right? And so this shit, every bump we were hitting, it was turning on and off and disconnecting the music, and we were getting pissed, bro. I remember Eli in the passenger seat, rest in peace, my dog, bro. He kept fucking like messing with it. We were trying to listen to Pop Smoke, and he kept messing with the thing, and every time it would shut off, the whole car would go, oh. Then when it would turn back on, everyone got hyped up, bro. But anyway, we pull up to this party, bro, and there's already like hella kids lined up, bro. Like, there's cars fucking lining the entire cul-de-sac. This party is huge, dude. Like, and I'm not exaggerating this shit. There was probably like 200-300 people at this function, bro. Like, it was packed. I didn't really know where to park, so I honestly just pulled up to the fucking front lawn and parked on their lawn, bro. I didn't give a shit. At this point in my life, bro, we were all thugging. Like, we didn't give a fuck about anything. Like, we're going to this party uninvited. We don't know whose house this is, just to go jump this kid, bro. Like, we don't even know whose crib this is, bro. We thought about that before we went in. We're like, all right, well, what if they got someone at the door being like, are you on the list or whatever? And me and Eli looked at each other and we're like, dude, we're just gonna walk past them. What the fuck are they gonna say? And so that's exactly what we did, bro. It was us walking through the door. We walk up to the door and we just start opening it, and there was like some dude standing in the hallway, and he's like, are you guys invited? And we just kept fucking walking. He didn't give a shit what he had to say. And as we were walking past, all we heard was like, do you guys know who the fuck that was? No. And so we walk into this house, bro, and this party was set up really weird. Like, you went into the front door and it was completely pitch black. Like, all the lights were off in the house, and you had to like go straight into this kitchen and then turn a corner and go into the basement. And then you could go into the basement. There's like 400 fucking kids down there, like, blasting music, and the whole house is shaking from the vibrations, bro. And then what was weird is the whole house was shaking, and upstairs from the party, there was like a 70-year-old dude, like, playing solitaire on a fucking computer up there, bro. Like, keep in mind, we still to this day, like, I don't know whose fucking house this was, or party, whose party it was either. Like, this is a weird function, bro. Like, looking back, I still don't know who that old man was. Like, He was just playing fucking solitaire, dude. It was like a function raving downstairs. And so fucking we ended up going downstairs because, you know, obviously everyone was downstairs and we're looking for this kid, right? It was me and Eli mainly. And we go up into the function and we see someone else that we know, right? Named Odongo, right? Odongo's my boy. Odongo and me go way back, right? Odongo's kind of a middle ground person though. Like, he doesn't like beefing with people. Like, he doesn't like to pick sides and shit like that. And so when he saw us coming through, he already knew that we were there to fuck Landon up, right? Because he already knew Landon was there and he knew the beef that we had and all that type of shit. He sees us and we see Landon, right? And we're like immediately locking eyes with him, and it's a crowd of people and we're going up to him, right? Like, we're trying to cut through the crowd to go get to this fool so we can go jump him, right? And Odongo sees this at the same time. And so he comes over and he cuts in between us before we can make it to Landon. And he goes, hold on. Like, we're just here to have a good time. Like, there's no need for violence. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, could we just put this off till another night? We were not about it at first, bro. Like, we were like, fuck that. We're going to beat his ass. Like, hell no. And so Odongo said, hold on a second. So he walked over to the Landon kid, right? And all we see is this motherfucker hand this dude like a couple $100 in 20s, right? And we're like, what the hell's going on? So he comes over here and they hand us like $250, right? In 20s. Odongo's like, this is for you guys to just not jump him tonight. Like, to leave him alone tonight and just enjoy the party. We'll pay you. And so we gladly accepted the cash. And we were, I mean, to be fair though, bro, we were still a little salty, you know? We were still a little grumpy, but we accepted the cash, you know? And we went and we left him. We let him wander off back into the crowd and do his thing and didn't worry about it. At this point, we started raiding the quote-unquote open bar, which was fucking terrible, dude. The liquor selection at this party was horrible. This is before I converted to Islam in jail, so I was still drinking back then, and dude, they didn't have like anything other than like a bottle of Malibu and like some other bottles of vodka. And dude, we just destroyed their shit. We drank everything there. We drank all the party's alcohol. We stole some bottles and shit. And that's when we got this brilliant idea, right? If we can't beat people up at the party, we might as well rob the party, right? And I'm not talking like stick a gun in people's face and like rob the party, right? I'm talking like hitting little licks on the party, like how much shit can we grab with people not noticing type shit, you know what I mean? Like, we don't even know whose house this is. And so that's what we decide we're gonna do, bro. And so keep in mind there's like 5 of us, and we literally decide that we're gonna have a competition that night on who can steal the most valuable shit. And so we all split up, and I remember first we'd do this thing where we would see a blunt getting passed around or a joint. We'd go up to the circle, and with 2 of us, right? And one person would get past the joint and start talking, and then you'd pass the joint to the next person who was in on it, and then you just keep yapping to the person who passed it to you, and they would just walk away while you were yapping to them, and then you just pretend like you didn't know what happened. So we just kept taking blunts and joints from groups and just facing them ourselves instead. And then I remember we just were like looking on the ground for like bags and things, and dude, we found a fucking backpack on the ground, right? And I just immediately picked it up and took it out to the car, because we were just taking trips like out of the party, like back and forth to the car and shit, and stashing the goods, right? I found this backpack, bro. It had like a half ounce of weed in it, like a little like pipe, like this weird corn cob, like it was like a bowl, right? Like a glass bowl, but it's supposed to look like a corn cob. Bro, we were stealing the bottles they had left and all types of shit. And so when I'm coming back inside though, when I'm grabbing the backpack and I stashed in the car, when I'm coming back outside, I'm upstairs where that old man was, and I just hear this like clattering noise coming from the living room. And for some reason, I poke my head around the corner, and I see fucking Eli, dude, God rest his soul, trying to take the fucking TV off the wall, like the fucking family room wall-mounted TV. This motherfucker was trying to steal that shit off the wall at the function, bro. And at that point, I told him to chill out, because that was a little too far, bro. Like, that's too hot. Like, that's gonna get us caught up, bro. That's a little bit too hot. And so he decided he would leave that around, because at this point, we're pretty drunk, right? Eli especially. Eli was fucked up. Eli, before he passed, he would love to drink, bro. Like, that was his favorite shit. He would get fucked up, bro. And like all those bottles that we had taken, like he'd probably killed half of them by then, to be honest with you. So this kid was sloshed, right? And I'm pretty sure he stole an Xbox that night. Like, I'm pretty sure one of the Xbox ones that he gave me, like later on, and I still have to this day. He left me. Like, I'm pretty sure one of those Xboxes came from that party, and he hit a lick on it. But anyway, we're hitting licks left and right? We have the car pretty much stashed. And now keep in mind, there's a whole nother side story, a side quest going on right now that we're not a part of with fucking Zach and Maddox. Zach took all those shrooms at the beginning, and he fucking wandered off into the woods, bro. We have no idea where this kid went. Like, he fucking disappeared. We did not see him the entire party, dude. This whole time, we have not seen this kid, right? Like, he wandered off, like, apparently, into the woods. And so we didn't notice that. So we're not even thinking about this. Like, we're just kind of like, all right, he wandered off into the woods. And so Maddox was with Eli's sister, Phoebe, the girl that we brought with us, one of the girls. And so they were in the car fighting. So they weren't really part of the party either. So it was mainly just me, Ashley, Eli's girlfriend, and Eli that were part of this shit, right? Me and Eli were downstairs, and we had just gotten done basically stealing a bunch of shit. And at this point, we were kind of chilling out, right? And we hear this commotion going on, right? So we walk over, and at this point, we were kind of pissed off. You know, the weed was wearing off. There's no more alcohol here. We drank it all. The function's kind of turning down. It's getting a little lame, right? And at this point, we're pissed off, right? We didn't get to fight who we wanted to, especially Eli, right? And if y'all knew Eli, bro, if I wish he was still around, I could bring him on here, dude. He was a bad motherfucker, bro. Like, he would throw down with anyone. That kid was always looking for a fight. He didn't give a shit who it was with, bro. Like, straight up, that kid would beat the fuck out of anyone, any day. And so this kid was pissed that he couldn't get his hands on the kid that we came there for that day, bro. So he was angry. And so when we heard this commotion, we go over there, and what do we hear? Oh, this guy was like in tears, bro, basically saying that this fucking dude in a pink cowboy hat had been like groping up on his girl. She kept telling him to stop, and he wouldn't leave her alone and shit. Bro, that's all we needed to hear. We were already upstairs and out the front door, bro. I was following Eli. We see the kid in the front yard, dude, like right when we walk out the front door. And immediately, Eli's like, all right, you're leaving, right? And the kid's like, what are you talking about? And Eli's like, yo, you just touched up on that girl, right? Like, you're leaving, right? And he's like, nah, man, I'm not leaving until you make me type shit. Like, all types of acting tough, bro. That kid fucking, he's like, all right. And he squared up. Dude, that was the last thing he should have done. Eli just fucking swung and knocked him to the ground with a haymaker in one hit. Just started fucking pummeling him on the ground, bro. Literally, he's leaking out of his face. I'm kicking the kid in the fucking head. I'm kicking him on the ground. Dude, kid pulls out a fucking knife while he has him on the ground, bro. Kid pulls out a knife and he tries to stab him, and I kick the knife out of his hand. I'm pretty sure Eli still had it to the day he died, that knife, because I gave it to him. Because I took it from the kid. I was like, I saved you, bro. Keep this. And so, yeah, bro, we beat the fuck out of this kid, and he's leaking. It's all on video. I might see if I can find the video, but I honestly probably shouldn't put it in the YouTube video. It's going to get my shit taken down, but I wish I could put it in here because it was all caught on camera. But yeah, dude, we are fighting this motherfucker and we beat the shit out of him. At that point, the party was like pretty much gone to shit. Like, it was, everyone was out on the front lawn. There was like 200 kids in the lawn. The neighbors were all outside. Like, dude, it was going to shit. There's definitely going to be cops. And lo and behold, the second we got done beating the shit out of this kid, we see blue and white lights, bro. And so we all start booking it to the fucking car. And it's just me, Eli, and Ashley right now, right? And as we are beating the fuck out of someone, Maddox and Phoebe must have heard it from the car, knew it was us that got into a fight, because who else would? Came out the car, so we linked up with them while we're running to the car to run from the police. And then randomly out of fucking nowhere, bro, Zach comes running out of the fucking woods, tripping balls on shrooms. Apparently he'd ran like fucking 9 miles to the highway in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night, tripping balls on shrooms. Like, completely avoided the whole party. Saw none of this shit. Just like randomly went on a journey in through the woods on shrooms. Got like lost in a highway somewhere. And we like looked it up, bro, and the nearest highway was like fucking 20 miles away. So the kid like either really walked far or he was tripping hard, bro. And so we're all running to the car. We all magically somehow linked up at the right time. We jump in the car, bro. And at this point, I'm a little sloshed. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a little bit drunk still. I probably shouldn't be driving, right? And so I drive anyway. I hop in that bitch. We start to peel off. And right as we start to peel off, bro, you know how I said at the beginning there was a, you know, it was a cul-de-sac dead end that was the street? Bro, they got the whole street blocked off and they're breathalyzing everyone that goes by. and saying if you can or can't leave. And we had, keep in mind, we had hella shit in the car too. Like, we just stole so much, like, drugs, weed, like, we had alcohol, an Xbox. Like, we're fucked, bro. And so what I ended up doing, bro, is ended up just driving right back to the house, parking in the neighbor's driveway, and just turning my car off and pretending like we didn't have a ride there. And so what ended up happening was they never searched my car. It ended up getting towed to like a impound, and we ended up getting just picked up by like my buddy Eli's mom to come like bring us back to the garage. And we basically got off scot-free, bro. Like, fucking, since I didn't drive, like, they didn't search the car or anything. It just got towed. And so I went to impound, and I picked it up like a day or two later for like $250, and lo and behold, all the shit we stole was still sitting in there, and it was fine. And I remember, dude, actually, that's not true. The cop did try to search my car. No, the cop did search my car. I remembered that wrong. He opened my trunk first, right? And he shined his flashlight, like, in the car. And I had just detailed my entire inside of the Subaru, right? So the trunk was, like, immaculately clean. And there was just nothing back there. And all the goods, for some reason, we had shoved up underneath the seats of the car, because like we were afraid we were gonna get pulled over when the cul-de-sac got closed off. So we had all this shit shoved up under the seats, so he never saw anything. And so when he saw the trunk that clean, he was like, all right, whatever, you're good to go, just leave the car here, and it'll get towed and you can pick it up in the morning. Because I blew too many numbers to drive. So, but I wasn't driving, so they couldn't get me for a DUI, but they said if I was driving, then I would have gotten a DUI. But joke's on them, because I was driving. I just pulled back up and turned the car off. Tried to get away with it. But anyway, at the end of the day, dude, we got off scot-free. My buddy Eli beat the shit out of that guy. I saved him from getting stabbed by a knife, and we kept all the goodies that we stole. But yeah, that was the end of that story. It's late as fuck at night, dude. It's like 12 o'clock, and I got a little one to take care of. My kid's like 7-8 months now. Actually, he's exactly 7 months now, a couple days ago. So anyway, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I know this has been kind of a longer video, but I hope you guys appreciated it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you made it to the end, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Leave a comment saying bananas if you made it all the way to the end here. And have a great rest of your day. Peace.